This is my last day here in Vladivostok. I'll be catching the train in a couple of hours' time to go to Irkutsk in Siberia, East Siberia. The train I'll be catching is a number one train. It's called. It's the number one of the Russian trains. It's called the Rushaya. I think that's the right accent. And it's the number one. It's the capital train of all the trains here in Russia, and so it's quite a prestigious train, and it'll be the very start of the Trans-Siberian railway. So this train leaves from here, from Vladivostok, and it goes all the way down to Moscow, which I think is 96,000 kilometers from here to there. So that's a long old journey. I won't be going that way, although I've already travelled most of it, but by a different route. So I'll be going to Irkutsk, which is 70 hours from here. So I leave this evening at 7 o'clock. I arrive in Irkutsk around the same time in 3 days' time. I've lost track of the days now because well, there's no point in keeping track of the days, but I keep track of the dates. So today's the 6th. I'll be leaving on the 6th, on the evening of the 6th, and I'll be arriving in Irkutsk on the late afternoon of the 9th. So it's a long journey, but it'll be the train has a restaurant car, so I'll ramble an errand, get some food, and it's always nice. I love these train journeys, so it won't be a problem at all. It'll be enjoyable. Vladivostok is an interesting town. I really like it. I didn't know what to expect when I came first, and it's quite an interesting place. It's gas. There's loads of Chinese people who come here. A lot of them come here because maybe they can't afford to go to Paris or possibly London or even further afield onto New York, and they want to come here to get a feel of authentic Europe. That's what it's sold as to the Chinese. It's a taste of authentic Europe. And if you think about it, it's not really Europe, is it? It's the very far east of Russia. It's actually officially it's called the Russian Far East. And if you look at it on the map, Vladivostok is at the bottom of the big tongue of land that stretches from Russia down into the east coast of China, and it's almost Asia. Well, it really is Asia, isn't it? If you look at it on the map, and it once was. It was part of China once, although it wasn't the Han dynasty. It was a different people, and the Chinese want it back because it's ours, they say. But the Russians say, you're not getting it back, it's ours. But so far they haven't gone to war, but they very nearly did once. It came very, very close to war, but at the moment it's not going to happen. And they made a treaty a couple of years back, and all the borders now have been settled, and all the islands and territorial waters have all been settled. So it's highly unlikely. But still, there are politicians in China and in Russia who are stirring up nationalism, and there's a lot of young Chinese people who don't have any knowledge really of Russia and who speak English, and their orientation is towards the West as opposed to Russia, and they're being stirred up and they want their land back. So it's interesting what's happening here, but so it's not really Asian, but it looks very, very much part of Europe. If you look around here, it looks like it looks like a town in Paris, or like a suburb of Paris, or Berlin, or maybe Prague. It's a very continental-looking town. So long as you're not too far out in the suburbs, then it looks very Soviet. But in the main town itself, it looks very much like a very laid-back, a very relaxed continental town in continental Europe. It's very dynamic as well. It's a dynamic town and a very lively place. And I'm just amazed. I'm constantly amazed at this country. especially this city. It's nothing like I expected. As I said, it's lively, really lively, and strong and vibrant. It's also a bit lawless. I read some commentaries about it, and they say that there's a struggle between the local authorities here and the central authorities in Moscow, who still are very, very, very centralist. So they starve this part of Russia from lots of funds, so there's not much to invest in infrastructure and authority. So there's hardly any cops around here. That's quite unusual, because everywhere else I've been, everywhere you look, there's loads of cops, and they're charging around in their cars, sirens going and lights going. But here, there isn't much of it at all. It's you hardly see them around. So that's what they say. And you can see that in car parking, where people just park anywhere, and there's no comeback. As a consequence, the traffic is dire. But that's just how it is. It'll change, it'll evolve in time. But it gives the place an interesting vibe. It's a sort of edgy vibe, and there's so many people here of different races that it's nothing like the other towns in Russia. So I'm intrigued by this place, and I really enjoyed my short stay here, and I've lots of memories of the place. As you can see, I'm not wearing any coat today. It's really warm today, actually. It's almost too bloody hot, but then anything above freezing I find too hot. I even have my hat on to protect me from the sun. I don't want to get sunburned. I got a touch of skin cancer once, and I need to be careful that I don't expose my head to too much sun, because that's where it's most likely to happen again. So that's it. Wasn't really just a quick little message to say hello to you all, and to say I'm still alive, I'm still happy and content, and still marginally sane and all that. And I won't be in touch for the next few days, as I'll be on the train and there's no Wi-Fi on the train. But I'll be in touch again as soon as I get to Irkutsk. So that'll be about 4 days' time. I'll be in touch again. So take care, lots of love. Bye for now.